I figured I'd take some time out of my day to tell you a little bit about this mound right here. This is my sales area mound. So a few years ago, we ended up renting some equipment, and we wanted to put in a parking spot. So we removed the top layer of sod, the soil there, and we put it all right here. I call this my sales area mound, obviously, because it's right here at my sales area. But then last year I put in that mound, which I might get to at the end of the video. So anyways, this mound right here, it was basically like a big circle with the half circle attached to the front right here. And so everything from the left of this pathway right here was what it was for a few years. And so then 2 years ago, I did some landscaping jobs, and I had a decent amount of soil. So then I put some soil here, put the dirt from the landscaping jobs right here, and this kind of stuck out right here. There wasn't a pathway, and it was just very awkward. I mean, the shape in the front looked good, but then coming around here, I knew that I was going to extend the sales area over directly to the mound somehow. But then this tree was just awkward. If I put plants underneath, you have to be bending and everything else. So then I figured I'd just extend the mound to the tree and all the way around it. And then I'm like, well, I want to be able just to walk through the mound. And I figured I'd put some sort of pathway. So then I looked at these rocks here at Home Depot, and then I just eventually got them. And this was a little bit too late, because last year I was having sales. People were coming, look at my mound, and there was just no way to cross it besides walking all the way around here. And back there was just kind of a war zone with landscape fabric and everything. Still kind of is, but that's besides the fact. So then it was like mid to late summer when I put in these stones here, and I planted all this creeping thyme around it. And so I'm gonna walk over them stones and show you. But anyways, when I first started this mound, I planted this smoke bush right there. It's just starting to grow. I planted the flowering almond, and I planted that spirea there, the bridal wreath spirea, which is about to be loaded with blooms. It's got flower buds covering it right now. I had some wigelias right there. I had some different hydrangeas and stuff. I had an oak leaf hydrangea that I removed, and I had an Annabelle hydrangea that I moved over here last year to make the path. And I had hostas and gay feathers and ajugas and ornamental grasses and everything else. I had daylilies on the top of this mound. I had a really big lupine that kind of died, and but then it's got seedlings all over the place that should be blooming very soon. And so this mound, it's been changing constantly. But basically, the reason why I had to move a couple plants over here is because this pathway, where this pathway is, there was some big plants. So basically, I planted this hydrangea here. It's a penny mac. That is a bonfire patio peach. You can see I've got creeping thyme and ajuga, some ants there. That's Irish moss. But basically, I've got red creeping thyme and white creeping thyme. I've got elfin thyme. This is golden lemon thyme. More golden lemon thyme that kind of died back last year. It's a sky pencil holly, ajugas, silver thyme that kind of died. I kind of trimmed it that last year a little bit too hard. I've got lemon thyme. You see a lot of different thymes because there is a lot of different thymes, but I just really like that plant. You can walk on it and then it survives. Last year I had some wigelias right here, and with this plant growing like crazy, it kind of formed a wall. So then when you're back here walking, you just feel like you're in a completely different spot. There's some nice structure here. And so I put these stones in, and such a long time ago that right now finally they're like nice and stable. You can be on them and not have to worry about them shifting underneath of you. And but basically I put these stones here to kind of build up this wall. I've got some coral bells. That wigelia is about to bloom. But then I had a Annabelle hydrangea right here, but then basically I moved it to over there because I didn't know where else to put it. And then I'm like, well, let me put another one in, and because it always does good, I figured in a little bit of shade it'll have some really nice blooms this year. That wigelia will probably potentially be removed. Having a purple plant right underneath a red purple plant there with another purple plant is kind of not the best move. You should probably be planting like contrasting plants. If you have a purple plant, then you should probably put like a pink or a yellow plant underneath of it instead of putting purple underneath purple. So then it just looks like a blob of purple. This right here is a Shirobana spirea, and I'm sorry that I don't have any available right now for sale. It is just a green spirea, but it is a longer blooming and than pretty much any of the other spireas, and it does bloom white and pink in the same bloom. And I had these two plants over underneath my locust tree, and that contrast between the pink and the mix, I guess, not the contrast of the pink and white against the pink, or I guess the white blooms of the Annabelle hydrangea look really, really good, and I just really like that. You can see I really need some mulch, and but anyways, I extended this last year. I planted these plants. Pretty much every one of these plants is all new, so I do have more ajugas, but this is lungwort. This plant right here got ate by some deer, and this winter it was probably smaller than that plant. So all this new growth is completely new, and I've got some hyacinths right there. Those are some grape hyacinths. This right here, I think it's a spotted dead nettle. I think it's like red Nancy or something. This plant did not get touched by the deer, and it bloomed all the way till fall, and it's already got blooms on it, so I'm very excited for that plant. I've got 50 of those coming here soon to sell. It's a guacamole hosta, and then some different hostas right here. I got some miniatures, and I put a bunch of coral bells over here, and that was not the move because the deer ate them. I've got a 42nd Street daylily. I guess that's a 42nd Street daylily, and this is probably a Monterey Jack. This is a coral something, Erysimum. And I got that plant at Home Depot a couple years ago, and it's just doing amazing right now. And I'm sorry, but I don't have any of those available. I got some oregano. Those are just like random cuttings that I stuck. This right here is a flamenco red hot poker. This plant right here grew really nice last year. It was in a quart container and did like amazing, and it's got new growth already happening on it. So the red hot pokers stood out, and it just drew your eye right to that plant. And so I got more silver thyme. You can see the old blooms on the Annabelle. This is a snow and summer plant. Here's the bloom on it, but basically it'll be loaded here very shortly. I've got some Veronicas, Salvias, that's a lupine there, and Blue Mouse here's hosta. Fire Witch Dianthus, this right here is yellow primrose. I planted 3 of these right here, and I sold the 6 plants that I had. I kind of want this to bloom and then to get people interested in it, and then I can split it apart and then make a bunch. And but I just really want this to look really good here around Mother's Day, which having those plants will make it really good. This is a Dune Valley thyme. I'm gonna zoom in on this. I'll get real close. Check out that bright yellow foliage, the leaves on it, some coral bells, and got a few different things mixed in. So basically coming back to this, check out that the weeping branch structure. I've got gay feathers just waking up. This is Blue Eddie ornamental onion. I've got a bunch of those for sale. This smoke bush, I recommend smoke bushes, even the green ones. I really recommend smoke bushes, because this thing, I got it from like at Walmart, and every year it puts on like 4 foot of growth. It does amazing. And so coming around this way, I've got Silver Mound Artemisia. Bachelor's buttons look like lamb's ear, but those are bachelor's button Centaura. This right here, I've got some of those. Those are bellflower birch hybrids, and so those are probably going to be blooming very soon around Mother's Day. They're a nice dark purple, very good alternative to phlox. It's going to start when phlox ends. So there's a dandelion. I literally just weeded this mound, so I guess I missed a couple. I've got blue eddies. This year I basically put these rocks here, and the whole idea is not to have this so steep and have so many plants where even if it does snow and rain and the wind blasts this mound, this over here has so many plants where none of these die. They all protect each other. And you can see this huge empty area. And what I want to do this year is I want to get some annuals. I got some hostas popping up, and but I want to get some annuals so then I have some continual color, like just non-stop, very vibrant, bright annuals, so I can get some experience like from them, and just basically just to have some color. And until I can get the right perennials that I want for the top of this mound and throughout this mound, then I'll just have some annuals, and so they'll block the weeds. This right here is a flowering almond, and I'm gonna zoom in on this, get real close. It gets kind of hammered by the wind, but it's still opening up. But I don't know if you can see that, but these flowers look like little carnations. I had one plant that was like reasonable, almost reasonable size, but then I sold it. And so that happened last year too. I sold like all 8 or 10 that I had. And there's the bachelor's buttons right there. Got some more coral bells. But anyways, got creeping thyme all throughout this mound. The creeping thyme is gonna be a like nice pink. And that kind of got foraged on by the deer. The silver thyme. I've got blue fescues. If you want blue fescues, you might have to have me plant those for you. But that's basically this mound. As far as the future, like I said, I'm going to be planting annuals across the top. Over here, I'm going to probably be removing this Weigelia. Potentially, I might just trim it back like really hard. And but I got to figure out what I'm doing over here, whether I do annuals or if I plant some of the perennials that are left over from the spring sales. And so yeah, I've got a lot of space to work with right here. I did say that I was gonna come over here, so I guess I'll walk over here. I got plants all over. These are the 90 phlox. I got a lot of edible plants over here. I'm gonna sweep by these spireas and stuff. I sold a few of them recently. June snowballs, viburnum, magic carpet, Anthony water, gold flame, crimson pygmy, boxwoods over here. I'm gonna have to organize these plants over here. So over here, I've only got a handful of plants. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing right here. This is like basically 100% compost and bark mulch. And I guess I missed a weed. But anyways, I've got 2 bee balms over here, and there's a phlox. That plant will be removed. But then I've got some agustachy. I got some daisies. I got another daisy plant over there. And then these are coral bells. The coral bells will be removed. But my whole plan for this mound is basically just to load it up with a whole bunch of annuals, so that when you're driving by, you see all that color and you're like, wow, I wonder what he's got for sale. Your eyes are gonna at least be drawn to this area, and then you're gonna see a bunch of plants over here. And I'm hoping to sell these ornamental trees very soon, but at least you'll see that color, and your eyes are going to be coming over here instead of just driving by like you know, just like normal. But you see all these plants for sale, and got a lot for sale right now. I got a lot more coming, and so if you see something that you like, stop on by, because it might not be here later in the year. But if you want perennials, maybe come twice, because I'm gonna have so many of them. Check out them ajugas. That's gonna be it. Hopefully this video uploads, and like I said, just stop on out, follow me on Facebook, and thanks for watching if you did.